Hello and welcome to another Tower of God video. Excuse the orange. My room is very orange. It's always been very orange, so I'm sorry about that. But there's a lot to talk about. This audio update was a lot, but I think the most important one that I want to talk, excluding Yama's info, because I think they test him first before I can make my judgment on whether he should summon or not, are the two new ignition weapons. Now, if you guys don't know, ignition weapons are so important. They're so important because they're a good way to make characters relevant who aren't relevant, give people kits that need it. It's kind of like another way of balancing units without actually balancing them, because you want to make sure the equipment. It's like some ignition weapons. Some characters don't have ignition weapons, right? So we got two new ones. One called Bari and one called Mago. So we'll go with the description first. We'll go with Bari first. And it says here, if you have two of them, like the set, you need 4 of them to get the full set. And if you have a set of 2, Bari's effect resistance increases by 35 and swiftness from 10 till the end of battle. Effect resistance is pretty good. I think it becomes more and more relevant as you climb up the tower because more characters do more things. So effect resistance is pretty good. Nothing too broken, but it's alright. And increased swiftness by 10. We always love a good swiftness buff. And then set of 4, this is the juice of the kit. When Bari's HP drops to a certain percentage, her special blessing is activated, limited once. Okay, so 75%. Bari the block skills 3 times is activated for 8 seconds. That's really good. Because obviously, if you can tank if you hit, it'll make you last longer. And 50%, Bari recovers 5% of max HP every second for 5 seconds, so you'll go back to 75 if they don't hit you. It only activates once, so you can't just go from 50 to 75 and then get the block skill. It's just you just get HP back. And at 25%, Bari becomes invisible for 2 seconds, which is pretty good. This equipment feels really strong on paper, but and I think they're used for tanks, so tanks that already have a lot of magic resistance or physical resistance will be a good for utility tanks, right? Tanks need more survivability but already has magic resistance or physical resistance, so Yama is a pretty good case for this. Or another character that I thought about this character honestly would be Kasano. I'm tripping. Where is he? Caliban, if I can find him. Over here. And because Caliban dies really quickly, right? And you need him to use his skills consistently to make use out of him. So just having that little oomph of survivability is really strong. Or if you have a character that's not really needed for damage, but you need them to survive as long as possible, that one's really good. So for example, if you need I can see squishy characters, or maybe someone like Anna might be useful, because Anna's they're good for SSRs that you want to survive as long as possible. So characters like Anna, or characters like where are they? Characters that just need survivability, and to make them use this character over here, I'd be okay for it too. There'll be a lot of experimentation, but the way that I view this is just a way for characters to survive longer, or to make tanks better. Another good example, which I think might be okay, would be Asensio. I know, weird choice, I know, but I was thinking that if you don't want to use him as a damage dealing unit, because my Asensio is for damage right now, I'm not gonna lie, but he doesn't really do that much damage anyways because he's a warrior unit. So if I decide to make him more defensive based, I can use this to make him survive longer, so that because Asensio has problems at the beginning of the fight, because Asensio will just automatically instantly get killed if he doesn't use his ult. So having that ability to make him invincible for 2 seconds will be long enough for him to use his ult and get this character going. So I think that's what this kit is for. Characters who just die instantly but aren't meant for damage, or tanks also be a good idea. So yeah, I think he'll also work with Caliban. I don't have Caliban yet. I mean, not Cal. I don't have Yam yet. The maintenance just ended. I didn't really do any summons for him yet. But that would be a good idea for this. Or maybe even characters like Kun. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty good set for him too, because he'll just like instantly hurt people. But if you don't want anybody to do damage and just want to be utility based and you want to survive as long as possible, that would be the set for that. And now, the next one is the Mago set. The Mago set's interesting, right? Because if you get two of them, instead of two, increase Mago's attack by 10% and critical rate by 10% till end of battle. Critical rate is good, but it's not amazing because you can, if you have like a mage unit, for example, you don't need this. Like this is not, you don't really need this if you're a mage because you'll probably get it to 100%. There's a few roles that does that, but also the increase of attack is pretty good. 10% is okay, but you have two, so I would say the set of two is decent, but nothing like crazy, right? Set of four, decreasing the energy of enemies grants Mago's blessing. That's a really weird and specific thing to have. Increase Mago's crit damage by 10%, max of 50 stacks, so you can get max of 50 stacks, right? And at max stacks, Mago's attack ignores damage, defense by 20%. So this is made for Kasano, and this as a damage dealing unit if you want to make Kasano a damage dealing unit, or it's made for what's his name, Yama, for if you want to make him a damage dealing tank. Because both of them revolve around reducing the energy of the enemy team. The thing is, there aren't that many characters to do that, so I don't know why they wanted this set to be put in the first place. I'm assuming that that's why they're trying to head the direction of the game. Because that's a really interesting mechanic, but I've seen just like how they're trying to make reduced swiftness on enemy team. It's also a meta for SSR characters like Kun and the new like Spearbearer Anak, and then this released Kasano also includes a reduction of swiftness on the enemy team. But I think this is very specifically made for Kasano and Yama. Both of those sets are, but specifically this one was like clearly like made for them. I'm not sure about this one. I don't think that these two are gonna be okay. I think this set will be good for Yama, but I don't know how strong this set will be in the future. They were talking about when they were talking about ignition weapons a few months ago, that they're really hesitant in releasing them because they don't want to change the meta too much. Because the ignition weapon holds so much like power over like how strong a unit is. But I don't think that these sets are too strong or too groundbreaking. I would much rather have like a set that increases magic attack, because mages do not have an ignition weapon that's good for them apart from like the L set. But I mean, this is okay. I think in the long run, I think Bari is going to be very impactful for most characters. Just because it makes it so they can survive longer and you can like, get your units going, right? Especially if they have struggles surviving throughout the game. It's not just for tanks, but I think tanks will benefit really well for that. And Mago is clearly made for units that can reduce energy of the enemy team, and that's right now clearly Yama and Kasano. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting, but yeah, the Mago set won't be something that you'll be using a lot, but the Bari set will be something that I can see people use a lot. I think it'll be really good. I think it'll be really good with if you have a high also this is what I think too. If you have a really high amount of resistances on your Tri-Essence, and you don't really need to add more resistances to your character, and you need a way for them to tank more, I think the Bari set will be really good. So essentially, I think Bari set is more effective against people who already have high resistances in their account. Like, if you already have 100% or close to 100%, just get the Bari set. Your tanks will tank even more, right? Unless if you need to use Provoke, there's a set that helps with Provoke. So that would be it, right? The Bari set would work really well with if you want to use Ram as not a damage dealing unit, but as a utility unit to make him survive longer. That would be a good set for him. But yes, that would be a good set for survivability. But yeah, that's the video. And I think next I'm going to talk about the boss for the new characters, because I'm actually really excited about that. I'm not gonna lie.